Has the AI bubble popped? What is the market telling me? What's up, super investors? And every investor loses money. But what separates a super investor from all the other investors is they make more than they lose. And they do it by watching the market. So hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, share this with someone who would get a lot out of it, because this is the place to be for the financial news that matters for your net worth. Is cheap AI a black swan event? The market is absolutely crashing, and shares of Nvidia are down somewhere around 16%. And it all comes back to this deep sink. Global markets crash on cheap China AI panic. So is the AI bubble over? Is this what's popping the AI bubble? Well, there are some important questions that every super investor should be asking themselves. First of all, have none of the engineers in the US and any of these companies figured this out? That's a question to think about. Another question is this thing completely real? What do I mean by this? Well, there's lots of export restrictions on NVIDIA's biggest and best GPUs. So did they really create this AI model with something less, or are they not telling the whole truth? Well, time will tell, but what's most interesting is to look at the market. See, it makes sense to me that Nvidia here could be down 17% because, well, if we don't need so many chips to make this fancy AI, the futures earnings of Nvidia are going to be less, and then the stock is going to have to reprice. However, if you can make cheap AI, a super investor should know that, well, if there's cheaper AI, why is Google down? Because now Google can use this cheaper AI to accelerate its business. It doesn't have to spend as much money making fancy AI. So it makes sense that Nvidia is down, but stocks like Google should be up. Microsoft as well. Microsoft, it's down 2.8% right now. This should be up on this news, not down on this news, because, well, if Microsoft is using all of the AI to improve all of its services, if it can do it for cheaper, well, then it doesn't need to spend so much money on OpenAI. And yeah, I get they've invested a lot of money into AI and OpenAI, but where they're currently making their money is not through AI or through OpenAI, but of course through the use of AI in their services and making everything in their software better. But if they can do that for even cheaper, then the stock should be even higher, not going down. So some of this is a gross, wild overreaction in the complete wrong direction. Now, I get that Nvidia might not need as many chips, but only time will tell. So is this a black swan event for AI? It's not. It's going to accelerate AI. It's going to make it more affordable. If it's true, more and more people and more companies are going to use it. Does that mean there are going to be as many clusters from Nvidia? Well, that is probably something that investors really don't know. So we're going to have to see if this really sticks. Now, let's go back to some of the other trends I'm watching in the market. Doge seeks to shed vast amounts of government office space. So if the government spending is going to get cut, this is something that could have ramifications for the market. So I'm keeping an eye on that. But the most important thing that I'm watching is the data that's coming out, because the data is going to tell me if I need to be bullish or bearish. And we're going to have the new home sales today. We've got building permits. We've got durable good orders. And we've got wholesale inventories coming out. There are a lot of interesting things. Pretty soon we're going to have the GDP quarter on quarter and personal consumption. These are all going to be very important things in the next few days. So I'm watching that closely. Let's take a look here. U.S. new home sales rise for the second straight year. So home sales are up 2.5% year on year. So they were going down, which is terrible news when they're going down. Now they're slightly going up. So it looks like we're either getting a tiny little bounce or we're going to reverse the trend, which investors should be very excited about, because this is going to mean more home furnishing, more originations for loans, more money in the economy. So that's a very important trend. Let's move over here and look at what this means. Well, I have a very simple bullish strategy for when the data comes in. And if housing is up, that's bullish. So I'm going to be investing in good companies at good prices, growing with durable trends. Now, if the data starts to come in bad, what is going to happen? Well, I have a bearish strategy to raise cash, have short-term T-bills, and put options and manage futures. I'm not seeing that right now. Right now, I'm seeing good data come in, and what's next? Well, the data could change to come in bad, like if everyone's earning less money and GDP is down and unemployment goes up, well, then I'm going to operate my bearish strategy. But if the data continues to come in flat or positive, well, I'm going to be investing in good companies, taking advantage of the trends. And even if NVIDIA is not selling as many chips, well, the companies taking advantage of AI should be even more profitable. So this news that is just driving the market crazy should be bullish for some companies and bearish for other companies. You just need to look under the hood and really understand what's going on. And it looks to me like gold is in its trend up here. It's moving towards all-time new highs, or it's creating a double top and we just had a reversal. We're really going to have to see. If I look at Bitcoin, it still kind of looks like it's consolidating. To me, the market is freaking out and everything is selling off right now. So I'm really not concerned about these little day-to-day movements. And if I look at the S&P 500, well, we were at all-time highs until NVIDIA got smashed on this news. But I think this is bullish for the other hyperscale companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, all of those companies using AI. If AI just gets cheaper and they don't have to spend as much money on chips and training, well, they should be making more and more money. So to me, this news is bullish, even though the market is taking it as bearish. Now, of course, as an NVIDIA shareholder, this could be very bearish. But at the same time, we don't know how much truth there is to it, and there's the most interesting thing that I didn't mention before. What I understand about this AI right now is it doesn't use its whole brain, and this is why it's so successful. People have said that it is 90% accurate compared to the bigger model. It also says that it has different brains, so to speak. It's got an engineering brain, it's got its lawyer brain, it's got its math brain, and it only uses one brain. So what that just tells me is it's a dumber version of AI. And yeah, that's great for many applications, but if you want to have the superest, smartest, best possible AI, well, then you're still going to need the best chips, you're going to need the biggest data centers, and I don't think that, for instance, if the government wants to build a super AI, they're really going to settle for second best or for something that's 90% accurate or it doesn't use its whole brain. So I'm not sold on the fact that this is the bearish AI bubble pop. And quite frankly, this should be bullish for many of the companies who have been utilizing AI because they're not going to have to build as many data centers. Maybe they still will for their super duper AI. I don't know. It's too early to tell. This market is driven by way too much emotion, and we need to see if this is a trend changer or if this is just a bump in the road. Next, what's the number one stock to buy right now? Click on my bio, follow me, and follow the link to RutherfordWealthReport.com, and I'll share my latest research with you.